Hello and welcome to the Glesga podcast. Don't forget to subscribe where you're listening from. Now, coming up this week.
We're so dependent on constant power. Point of sale machines don't work in supermarkets. Till systems in the pubs.
Traffic lights.
Traffic lights. Absolutely. And all your mob, your electric motors, fucking feet of the bottom like Fred Flintstone. I've got a funny feeling I might have eaten at one point a horse meat burger.
Really? Where did you get that?
Years ago. Well, France.
Fir Park.
No. You don't get burgers at Fir Park. It's only pies and they roll over hot dogs. So it may have been a horse's dong in the bun, but no. The lights went out in Spain. People came together. The people actually came out their hooses and I said, how you getting on? I'm fucked, thank fuck, I've batteries in my vibrator, right? People were going, I'd have to use my horn tonight.
Can I set in my washing machine?
Okay. My sex robot went down on me.
But before then, we're talking about everything.
Preppers.
You wanted to talk about
Well,
preppers. You're trying to get your voice in order. What's been going on?
Well, I mean, my voice is gubbed. I mean, I was on holiday, and I put the air conditioning on in the room, and you know what happens when I use air conditioning, it does something, and it gave me a cold, and I don't know, it just full of phlegm, and you can't sleep, and you're hawking up all sorts, and then it fucks your voice. So you need to bear with me, people, and the ladies out there. This sultry voice, the knickers will be dropping off you. Anyway, preppers, when I was on holiday,
Yes.
there was a massive power outage. You may have read about it. You may have seen it on the news. There was a massive power outage on the Iberian Peninsula. And what are the two countries on the Iberian Peninsula?
Spain and Portugal.
Spain and Portugal, that's right. The lights went out in Spain. So, as if there's not enough rough-looking birds in Benidorm. God knows what you pumped that night. So, there's a serious point here, right? Now, they blamed solar panels regulating there has to be a constant power feed. And they've got a regulation system that either ups it or pulls it down when needed. If there's too much, you cause a surge. And apparently the regulator failed and out the lights went out. That's the story they're telling you. Right, I've got inside knowledge. Guys, a guy I met in a boozer. Right.
Works for Scottish Power, does he?
No, he works in the railways. Right, he doesn't even work in the railways, he's only incapacity benefit. But the point is, that's the official, that's what they said happened. It was solar panels, it was a regulation system. I read it in the paper. There was a very interesting thing happened, right? We rely completely on power. So you're listening to this right now. You need power to listen to this. You need your internet powered. You need your laptop or your phone. You need it charged up. And we couldn't make it without this. We're so dependent on constant power that the minute it goes down for any significant length of time, and by the way, 2 days is a significant length of time when you're sitting, nobody's got any cash, right? Point of sale machines don't work in supermarkets. Till systems in the pubs.
Traffic lights.
Traffic lights, absolutely. And all your mob, your electric motors, fucking feet of the bottom like Fred Flintstone. Right, this is serious. But you go to the petrol station to get diesel, the pumps don't work. They're electric. The tills, fucking nothing works. And you don't have cash, you're fucked. People were going to the supermarket to buy food. Right, your fridge failed. Right, your food's all went rotten. Right, you can't cook anything unless you've got gas. That's why I've got gas, by the way, right? I've got a gas telly. Right?
As long as you got a match to light it, because you need electric for the wee spark to go off to light it, don't you? The hob.
Yeah, your box of fucking matches.
No, everybody's got matches in their house.
No, everybody's got matches in their house. Well, this is what we're talking about, right? This is the whole point, right? This is interesting. I think they would be really important. So, people were really worried that this was going to last any sort of length of time. People were really worried they couldn't get any food, because they didn't have any cash, and the supermarkets and the wee shops were going, we can't sell you anything, we can't take card payments. If you got cash, you can take stuff. And then suddenly people are losing their mind. But what happened in Spain was the people came together. The people actually came out their houses and I said, how you getting on? How you getting on? I'm fucked, you know, thank fuck, I've batteries in my vibrator, right? People were going, I mean, I'd have to use my horn tonight.
Can I
right?
sit in my washing machine?
Okay, my sex robot went down on me. So the point is, some people say that it was a cyber attack, right? And I don't know how true that is. This guy I met in the pub doesn't even exist because I wasn't in the pub. I'm just putting it out there, right? Because at the same time, I met somebody 2 weeks ago who's a prepper. This is what we're talking about, people. Preppers. I said, what the fuck is a prepper? And they used to be called survivalists in America. People like Kurt Russell and all that running about the fucking Pacific forests. I don't know, wrestling bears and getting them in headlocks, right? Preppers are preparing for these events. The people are expecting societal breakdown through loss of power, loss of technology, loss of internet. Everything that depends on power. Your ability to cook, your ability to see in the door, your ability to get information. Without power, that all goes. Right? And people are prepping, they call them preppers. So they've got diesel in their garage and petrol in their garage for a motor. Right? They might have a backup generator. And you were talking about matches. You would keep that away for the petrol, but they would have torches, batteries, a tranny, a wee radio, transistor radio, which runs on batteries, right? They might have, I don't know, the lights you get, they charge up during the day and light at night. I don't fucking know. Toilet roll, tins of beans, bottled water, catching rainwater. Our producer's got a neighbour, right, who says he's bought some straws which allows them to drink from puddles, and they've got a filtration system so that catches all the dog piss in the dirt and you just get pure unfiltered puddle water. I mean, fuck's sake.
I mean, you wouldn't consider that, would you? Buying all
Drinking
that
out of
shite.
puddle?
No, buying all that shite. Drinking out of puddle.
Well, I've not got the money to buy all that shite, but this is what's happening.
But it's only tinned food you buy and all that.
Well, tinned food and dried food, you don't buy fresh food.
They say that our national grid is already extremely outdated at the moment, don't they? And the biggest, well, it always used to be the biggest power urge was always
Power surge.
Aye, was always the break between Coronation Street. Or
thousands of millions of kettles would go on.
Aye.
Yeah, demand is up and that. Used to be. No, thank God. Nobody watches this shit anymore.
That's why I've got timers on all my tumble dryer and my washing machine and my electric charger. It all comes on during the night. So you save 4p, you save 4p, but you end up burning your house down when the tumble dryer turns on. But your decision's a money decision. Your decision's a financial decision. Right? Aye, I would say so. Aye.
So, what preppers are doing, it's not a financial decision, it's a survival decision. Now, so I had a guy show me a map, right? He's expecting a minimum a Russian cyber attack or a cyber attack from maybe China. It could be India, it could be Iran, fuck knows, right? In fact, the way things are going, it could be America. Now, a cyber attack could knock out all the electricity and all the grid, the infrastructure. But at the worst case scenario, he's saying he's going nuclear attack. He showed me a map, right? He's had on an iPad. He says, here's, and it was a map of Scotland. And he says, if Russia launched a nuclear weapon and it had, say, was it half a megaton, which is 500 kilotons, which is something like 25 times the Hiroshima bomb, right? It showed the blast radius and the firestorm radius and the fallout radius. And basically you have to buy a house in fucking, I don't know, Dumfries to get away from it. Right?
Oh, I'd rather fucking get bombed.
I mean, you might be alright where you live. Right? But
Well, unless it drops it in Carluke.
if they dropped it in Carluke, if after it happened, people go, what did they hit? Aye, we've done that joke before, right? So he's expecting societal breakdown. So what he's bought loads of tinned food, he's hoarding water, he's hoarding everything he could need. Toilet paper. I mean, you might be dying of radiation sickness, but you need to wipe your hole, right?
When you shite
Even
yourself.
it was Charles Bukowski said, even the most evil person in the world deserves to wipe his arse. Right? So toilet paper, everything he just thinks about it. Batteries, torches, things, candles, you name it. And he's even got samurai swords. So seriously, he says, I've got samurai swords so that when this happens, if you come to my door, you're getting chopped up.
His face will be melted anyway if he gets a nuclear attack. He'll not be able to pick the sword up because his horn will not be there.
No, well, he doesn't live in the immediate blast and firestorm zone.
How does he know where they're going to hit?
They reckon in a nuclear attack, they'll actually, the convention states that they're going to hit military targets. But realistically, Glesga, smack bang right on top of the crazy house. It's Glesga Cruise, middle of Glesga, right? The coordinates are a 0.5 megaton nuclear bomb, bang, middle of Glesga.
Because there was a cyber attack in Marks and Spencer's. Did you see that?
I know.
And you couldn't get other...
Yeah, you couldn't buy anything online.
Nothing.
And it was a cyber attack.
And all their stock in their shops, everything. You couldn't get food or anything.
Right, and it was a cyber attack in a co-op as well.
Aye.
And so people who are co-op club card members, of which I am one.
Got all their data stolen.
Aye. So I'm in trouble now.
Vladimir Putin's got your mobile
Aye,
number.
he's got maps on me.
Your messages list.
He knows what I buy now. Hankies and Vaseline, right?
And an aubergine. No.
So would you prep? What would you do?
I would prep, but I think I've got enough shite in the cupboard now to last me a while.
Really? What have you got?
Like I've got beans.
Beans are good.
Pot
Beans are good.
noodles. The Wayne likes pasta.
How many pot noodles you got?
3 or 4, I think.
What flavour?
Chicken mushroom.
Oh, aye. I mean, people are raiding your house. I mean, when society breaks down and they're all up the corn exchange and all that going, he's got 4 pot noodles this house. They're coming down with flaming torches.
But we've got too much stuff in the freezer. We couldn't cook it. That's the problem.
Let's say the grid gets attacked, right, in a cyber attack. Have you got a backup?
No, I've not got a backup. I can light a fire though, so I could cook stuff in the
So
fire.
have you got a coal fire?
I've got a coal fire in the house, so I could light a fire in the... Or I've got one of the big bin things that you throw stuff in and you light it and it burns it all.
A brazier? A big bin thing? How did you buy that? I'm looking for one of the big bin things you can throw a fire in.
It's because we
Right.
get so much cardboard and all that, it doesn't always fit in the bin, so we just burn it. Although you're not meant to.
No, you're not supposed to, no.
So I've got a fire lighter for
That's where it'd be sparky things. Does it run on gas or electricity? Batteries?
I think it's gas.
Gas?
Aye.
So you need to fill it with lighter fuel?
Aye.
Right.
And then that lights the lighter and then you can fling it in the big bin and it'll start a fire going.
Right.
But apart from pasta, pot noodles, baked beans...
So how long would that last you?
Cold soup.
A week?
A maximum a week, I'd say. It'd last me. I don't know about my wife and my Wayne. They've had it.
So...
Ice cream, I would have ice lollies until they melt it. So I'd probably...
You'd eat all that straight away then?
Aye, I'd eat the ice. I'd eat 5 magnums. I might be dead, but I'd be happy.
Thank you, Vladimir. Fucking yes.
So I'd eat the magnums first, and then the dog food.
Aye, you would have to.
The dog food would be there for backup.
Oh, right. Oh, no, you would probably better off eating the dog.
No, the dog food's good quality stuff.
Oh, fuck no. No, when push comes to shove, the dog's going in the fucking fire. The dog's getting cooked. It doesn't look very tasty though.
There's a lot of fat on them though.
It'd just be like pork belly.
You ever ate a dog?
Not to my knowledge.
Because there's all these takeaway shops that are getting done for putting all these weird meats in the curries and stuff like that. Ree William that does our camera, his local one get caught with dog meat or something.
Away.
That's it.
Well, there was a place in Parkhead years ago in the 70s, and it was called The Good Friend. It was a big scandal at the time, serving dog curries.
Oh God. No man's best friend, it was called.
Well, I know. I mean, and this place gets shut down. It was in all the papers and all that.
So, we're going to have a quick break and then we'll be back with everything. Preppers. I still don't know what it is. Welcome back, and remember to visit glesga.com for all our upcoming shows. But back to everything preppers.
I've got a funny feeling I might have eaten, at one point, a horse meat burger.
Really? Where did you get that?
Years ago. Well, France.
Fir Park?
No. You don't get burgers at Fir Park. It's only pies and they roll over hot dogs. So it may have been a horse's dong in the bun, but no.
My stomach would notice straight away. Something like
No, wouldn't he? No, wouldn't he?
Anything dodgy goes through me. Like.
But the horse meat's no dodgy. What do you mean dodgy? Ain't dodgy?
Well, if my stomach's no used to whatever it is, then that's it, done.
You're kind of hard day's graft. What do you mean? Right. And I remember as well, I was in a restaurant and I was in France or Belgium, and I don't fucking know what I'm eating. And it was ostrich.
God.
I thought it was fillet steak.
I've had ostrich steak. It's really nice. It's hugely high in protein. It's really good for you. Although don't go into your butcher and ask if you get any ostrich, because they just laugh at you like a fanny. They've got to order it in. What would be your end of the world food?
Well, you see, I'm different for you, right?
Your Green Mile food.
I would live a lot longer because my body would take about 3 months to eat itself. Right, so true. You'd be fucked in a fortnight because I'm not pick on you.
Well, unless I cook you, I'm
right.
Done. 3 months. I'd have 3 months eating. See, if you were going to die tomorrow, what would be your final meal? If you're on death row, what would you have for your final meal?
A prawn biryani and a peshwari naan.
Aye, I'd probably have chili con carne. That's my go-to. Because there was that plane crash There was a plane crash.
Well, that was the Uruguay in the Andes in 1972.
Aye. Was it a rugby team? And then
it was a rugby team going from Uruguay to Santiago in Chile to play a rugby match. And the pilot flew too close to the mountains, the Andes mountains, and miraculously the plane slid down a glacier, and a fair percentage of the passengers in the plane survived. I mean, a lot of them died initially. It was 6 or 8 people. But they were lost for about 70 days.
They were, aye, because they hit the pilot first. Because they said it was his fault.
Well, what they did, right, there was a film made about it, a really good film called Alive.
Oh, is that what that film was about?
Aye, there's a film called Alive. What's his name? He's famous actor. Ethan Hawke is in it. And he plays Nando Parado. And Nando Parado and Roberto Canessa, they were the two people who they walked through the Andes.
And through the stone of the river and all that.
And they walked into... Did they walk into Chile or did they walk into Argentina? I think they walked into Chile, aye. And then the helicopters, when the rescue was happening, the helicopters can't fly at a massive height. They've not got that power. But the guy who was the Air Force guy, the Chilean Air Force, basically what he did was fucking amazing. He made these helicopters just fly over the Andes to go and pick everybody up. And that was itself pretty dangerous, but they done it and they saved everybody. But the thing is, so the film Alive is about that event. They only had something like chocolate and wine and hardly any food.
It was chocolate peanuts.
They expected to get rescued. They presumed they would. But they called the search off after, I don't know, a week or two. When they ran out of food, they started eating the deed.
Imagine it was a Ryanair flight, you'd have toasties and all that. It'd be amazing.
No, you could stay alive for years.
You won a terrorist scratch card.
Aye, a Jet 2 flight. 4 years later, still got plenty of grub.
What would be your staple?
You'd have chickens, right? They not only, you can eat chickens, they also lay eggs, right? You get eggs. So you can gather rainwater and you can eat eggs.
Yeah.
Chickens and rice.
Rice.
Bags of rice. So you've got a carb and you've got a protein and you've got water.
I think there's a chance there could be a major power cut where they just can't get it back on again for days.
Well, aye, it could happen. It could happen. Maybe. Well, these systems are pretty resilient. We had that thing at Heathrow Airport where they shut it down for a day.
And it shouldn't have, apparently.
And well, apparently not, because they've got contingency, they've got redundancy. But it just shows you how everything is critical. It needs power, so you need backup systems. And these engineers are pretty clever, they know all this. The point is, when I heard about this thing in Spain, right, I'm looking at the news on my phone, there was a kid arrested, was it in Germany, who was basically under guidance from the Russian intelligence services to go and target targets in the West. And he had things like incendiary devices and wee bottles of petrol and all that to just light fires and be a fucking nuisance. Apparently, there was a business in London that went on fire about 2 or 3 months ago, and that was a Ukrainian business. And they reckon that was a KGB, they're called the FSB now, the Russian Security Services, Federation of Small Businesses, whatever that. So, but what they did was, they reckon that was a FSB Russian-sponsored attack, a direct attack. There was something I saw yesterday, that there was Russian spies were in a planning meeting.
For the Brexit?
Aye, they're everywhere. I mean, and it probably, what a lot of people maybe don't see is the work that the intelligence services do to fucking stop all this. Bearing in mind that they monitor all the communications. So emails, phone communications, texts, all that gets monitored.
Do you think there's a Russian spy watching us right now?
Well, if he is, and he's barking up a dang fucking tree here. But fine, it means he's watching this pitch. He's no bothering anybody else. So you fucking fill your boots, Ivan, have a wee chug. You batter in. You ever had a power cut?
So we've had a few power cuts because obviously I staying bigger. So
right.
There's quite a few power cuts.
Really?
Aye. Obviously your boiler goes down. You can't boil the kettle. I mean,
if your boiler goes down, aye, right. So your hot water's goosed.
Everything's
because your boiler's electric.
Aye.
If you get gas though,
we've got gas.
Aye. You can put a pot of water.
Aye, you can put a pot of water on, but it's not so good when you can't use the oven or the air fryer or anything really.
Have you not got a gas oven?
No, it's all electric.
You've got a gas cooker, but you've not got a gas oven?
I've got a gas hob, but an electric oven, aye.
Fucking shite,
but the hob's nowhere near the oven. The oven's not under the hob.
Right.
The oven's the other side of the
right.
kitchen.
So, I mean, if you get candles and all that, what do you do in a power cut?
Get candles, aye, but they're all scented, so the house stinks.
So what happens? Your last power cut, how long did it last?
Probably about 6 hours.
What time did it start?
Maybe about 10 in the morning. Or sometimes sometimes you get up, don't you, and the clocks are away and you think there's been one during the night and it knocks everything off.
The clocks are away?
Aye, you'll get up in the morning and then you'll see the ovens flashing at 12.
See, I don't have anything like that.
You don't have that?
No.
Well, that's how you know a power cut. If you get down in the morning, your oven's flashing and then your boiler's flashing, it's been turned off, it's been knocked off.
I don't have anything like that.
So how do you know there's been a power cut then?
I've never had one.
Aye, you have.
No, I've not. I swear to God, I don't.
What about the water going off? Scottish Water, we get that maybe once a month.
Nah, Really?
Aye.
No.
I think the water going off's probably maybe an inconvenience, and because then you can't shower, you can't boil the kettle. The boiler doesn't work either, radiators don't work. Then they deliver all that bottled water to your house within like an hour or two.
I don't have any of these issues.
Well, you must be at the house when you have a power cut, because everybody has power
No,
cut.
where am I going? I'm nowhere. I'm in the house all the time. So I don't go out the house.
What would you have in the house if you had a power cut?
What would I have?
Aye. What would you have to survive? Have you got candles?
No. No. I've got the light on my phone. But that would only last so long.
Aye.
Just jump in the motor.
Jump in the motor.
Go and buy candles at Tesco 24 hour. And a box of matches. Some bottled water. But I don't need, no, I've got water, so. I've got a gas cooker. No problem. I think the biggest problem, if it is power cuts, the problem is now is communications. It used to be everybody who had a phone had a house phone. And house phones work off another network, separate network. And it used to be in a power cut, the phone still worked. But people's phones now are all connected to the broadband.
Aye.
Which it used to be just a simple analogue copper pair. Now it's presented differently. And I believe it requires power. So and they're going to take that away in a couple of years. So I don't know how that's going to, because the cell phone network, right, it works off the cell phone towers, which require power. If there's a power net outage, then nothing works. And it's hard to see how you're able to contact anybody at all.
Our whole alarm system works off the broadband as well.
Right. I mean, I don't know how many people are sitting there going, power cut, get the fan, we're going to rob pussies. So these are fucking desperate people. When they run into my mate's house with the samurai swords, they're in fucking trouble. If I had a power cut, it wouldn't be a problem. I mean, I've not got any food in the house. I never stock up on food.
I noticed that. You never
I
get
just buy food when I need it.
no sandwich at your house.
No, you're not getting a piece in my house. No, you're not even getting a fucking cup of tea. I've got 2 tins of plum tomatoes because I used to make pasta. In fact, they're probably out of date. I might have a couple of tins of soup a few years ago. They might even be out of date. I've not got any food in the house. I'm trying to think. Nah, I've got fuck all. So I would have to live off myself. My body would eat itself for a week or two. And then I'll go, hey, I need to try and find food. By which time the supermarkets are empty. Everybody's bought it all. I'll be out killing dogs.
Well, on that cheery note, we're going to head off now, and we're going to buy a power cord just in case. I think
it's like in the old days when the telly was finished. Please have a safe night. I hope nothing happens to you. Ooh.
Nick Ross,
with the telly.
Was it Nick Ross?
The telly used to finish at night.
Like Crime Watch?
No. See, right, this is the thing, right? Back in, well, I don't know when this was, up until, say, the 80s, was definitely in the 70s, the telly would finish at night. See, you're used to having telly 24 hours a day, right? The telly used to go off. They would play
the national anthem.
They would play the national anthem at midnight and go, make sure Billy Connor did that famous routine. Make sure you have a safe night. I hope nothing happens to you. But there might be somebody with a sword hiding in your wardrobe or something. Hey, but it's probably not, so sleep tight. But somebody might be coming to burn your house too. I don't know. Basically, the government sent you to bed. They'd fucking turn the telly off. Then they brought out video recorders, videos, so you could play videos on your telly. But now we're used to having the telly all fucking night. We had no internet back then. I mean, the internet, we've only had the internet since the 2000s, late 90s. So, but when I first was browsing the internet around about the late 90s, it was a very different place. It was all chat rooms. Remember?
MSN
and
all that.
It was all chat rooms and stuff, and it was about finding out information and stuff. It wasn't And there was be websites. I mean, I remember I made a website 2001. Pretty much had my own website 2001. But you would go in all these mad chat rooms, all these fucking loonies and nutters and all sorts of chat rooms. Every manner of fucking loony. All the loonies in this room.
Right, we're going to put the grim into one side. And we'll wind up this episode. So on that note, if you want to come and see us, visit glesga.com or click the bio link in any of our socials. And remember, we're also playing the Edinburgh Fringe, so check out those. If you enjoyed us, tell your friends, but if you didn't, fuck off.